Hey everybody, Bargain Brother here, your prize money penny pincher, here to help you make and save money, mostly make money. And today we're going to dispel some credit card myths. But before we do, if you find value in this content, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and sharing. I would greatly appreciate it, and it can help this channel grow and help me reach a wider audience. Thanks so much for that in advance. Now let's jump right into it. Credit card myths that I want to just put to bed and let you know that this junk is actually junk. Okay, so the first one is, I need to carry a balance in order to get my limits increased. Bomb! That is 100% false. Now, let me tell you my method of getting limits increased. You do need to use cards, and sometimes you may even need to make a larger purchase to get the card holder to feel that you're someone that may end up spending larger amounts of money, which makes them want to give you more money. But you do not have to carry a balance. You can go and make a purchase, for instance, on a $10,000 card for $5,000, which is 50% of your card's maximum limit, which looks to the card holder or the card issuer like, okay, this is someone that's going to do some spending. But when that bill comes, pay it all in full, and you'll get the same type of, it kind of is worth the same brownie points as it is if you were carrying the balance. There is no merit to carrying a balance getting you bigger increases. It's all about card usage. If you're using a card, especially if you make large purchases from time to time, your card issuer is still getting paid through merchant fees that are charged to merchants every time that your card is used. But you do not need to carry a balance to get a increase on your limit. So that puts that first rumor, myth number one, to bed. Let's go to myth number two. Becoming an authorized user is the best way to improve my credit score. And that's also a myth. And the reason that's a myth is because becoming an authorized user can work for or against you. You can become an authorized user to someone that has a credit card with a very high limit and very low balance consistently, and that can be very helpful to you because it helps your credit utilization, which is 30% of your credit score. If it's a card they've had for a long time, it helps your credit length of history, which is 15% of your credit score. It adds to your credit mix of installment and revolving, which is 10% of your credit score. And it also adds to your payment history, which is 35% of your credit score. So if it's a card that's really responsibly used, it could impact your credit score 90% of what's allowed. In other words, it's affecting 4 of the main 5 areas of the FICO pie. But let's look at the flip side of that coin. What if the person who has you as an authorized user on their account is carrying a high balance? What if they're missing payments? Then automatically it's doing damage to your credit score that you could do without. So becoming an authorized user, saying that automatically makes your score stronger or makes your credit stronger, that's just a myth. It may work for you, it may not. It just depends on whose account you're an authorized user on and how they're using that account. Now, let's go to number 3. And this is one I've had debate with people about, but I really know I'm right. So, using credit and debit cards is just as good for your credit as using a traditional credit card. I'm not even going to glorify this with a bomb because nothing could be more incorrect. Using debit cards or prepaid cards or debit cards, all that is using your own money. Nothing else. It does not report to credit bureaus, therefore it has absolutely no impact on your credit history. On the other side, using traditional credit cards that report to the credit bureaus each month, as long as those cards are used responsibly, paid on time, and preferably paid in full each month, it's going to have a great impact on your credit score. So, this just, I won't even talk anymore about this. Using debit and prepaid cards have no impact on your credit score. and using traditional credit cards does, and the impact is positive if you use the credit cards responsibly. Okay, that's enough on that. Let's go to the last point I want to hit. The last point I want to hit, to me, is also simple, but it seems that a lot of people kind of wrestle with it too, like they don't quite get it, so I'm going to break it down. Closing that old account that you no longer use has a good impact on your credit score. Again, nothing could be more wrong. That old account is helping you out in a few ways. Now, let's detail it. And that's assuming that that old account is being used in a responsible manner. So let's talk about how it's helping you out. Okay? The length of your credit history is 15% of your credit score. So that old account, let's just say it's 10 years old, is helping 15% of your credit score because it's affecting the length of overall credit history that you have. Okay? Your credit utilization, 30% of your credit score. That old account is also helping that. Even if it's a small limit, let's say it's a $3,000 credit card that you've had for 10 years, but that's adding $3,000 additional dollars to your total available credit, which helps bring down your credit utilization, right? So that's helping 30% of your credit score. It also is an additional account which adds to your mix of installment and revolving credit. That's helping 10% of your credit score. And last but not least, even if you're using it so little to where, like, I have one bill that is less than $10 a month, and I have it auto paid to a credit card that I've had for years that I hardly ever use for anything except that. But it keeps the card active. And it also keeps the payment history in stellar shape, like 100% on-time history. And of course, we know payment history is 35% of your credit score. So by closing that old credit card account that you're sparingly using at this point, it does way more damage to your credit score than the potential good that it could have if you just continue to keep it and just use it responsibly, even if you're using it very little. So there it is, folks. Those are some credit card myths that I wanted to kind of, dispel and get rid of, and let people know that they are myths for in regards to credit cards, because credit is a beautiful thing if used responsibly. It's like I once heard, money is an excellent servant, but it's a terrible master. So if you're in charge of the money, and when I say the money, I'm talking about the credit, because that's your access to capital. It can serve you very well, but if it's used irresponsibly, where the money, or credit in this case, becomes the master and you become the servant, well, in that case, it's an awful master. Okay, so please leave comments about this in the comment box if you have any. Also leave comments about any upcoming videos you would like to see related to credit, stock market, anything finance or money related, real estate, you name it. Cryptocurrency. I'm open to talking about anything to enable us to make and save more money, mostly make money. And I just want to say, in your quest to get to the peak of whatever your mountain is, it does not matter if you take the stairs or the elevator, as long as you get there. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if you saw value in this content, and I will see you guys in the next video.